Are you living paycheck to paycheck and want to know how to get ahead on your finances? If so, keep watching. Hi, and welcome back. I'm Kamika, and this is Well Balanced Wallet, where I help you create healthy money habits and live a life that you love on your current budget. Today, we're going to be talking about how to get ahead on your finances. A while back, I wrote a blog post about living on last month's income and the benefits of being a month ahead on your finances. So today, I wanted to make a video about how to save money to get a month ahead. So my husband and I have been living on last month's income for a few years for a couple of different reasons. So the first reason is that I used to get paid on the last day of every month. And the second reason is that we've been using YNAB as our budgeting software since the beginning of our debt-free journey. And one of the rules that YNAB wants you to follow is to live on last month's income. So at the very beginning of our journey, we actually didn't have much of a choice, and we just kind of stuck with it after I moved into bi-weekly pay. And my husband's also paid bi-weekly. We actually enjoy living on last month's income because it means that we know exactly how much money we need to have each month in order to have all of our expenses covered. And then also it makes it very easy to get your bills paid all at one time and not have to worry about budgeting every single week or bi-weekly once you get paid. Another benefit is that you will know in advance if you don't have enough money to cover the next month's expenses, and so you have time to prepare, to get a side hustle, to sell a few things to make up the difference, and you go into the next month knowing exactly what your situation looks like. So with that being said, let's talk about how to save money in order to get a month ahead on your finances. The first thing that you want to do is add up all of your expenses. So when I say add up all of your expenses, I mean everything that you need to pay in a single month. So that includes your rent or your mortgage, your electric bill, your phone bill, your gas, groceries, anything that you pay for the month. You need to add up all of those expenses and keep a running total. It may be beneficial for you to do this over the span of like 3 months so you can get a good picture of exactly what you're spending each month, and you'll have a more accurate total. So for my household, we need $3,500 every month, and that covers all of our expenses, and we still have a little bit left within that $3,500 to save money and to pay a little bit towards debt. Now, anything that we make in a month that is over the $3,500, that goes strictly towards debt or any savings goals that we have, but we need $3,500 each month in order to be considered a month ahead on our finances. The next thing that you need to do is to create a budget. So I've talked many times on this channel about the importance of having a budget and using a budget. And if you're going to be a month ahead on your expenses, this one is very, very important. So you want to make a budget, include all of your monthly expenses, and create a category for buffer or next month in your budget. So what this does is it gives you a place to actually hold your money while you're saving up for next month's expenses. So for example, my husband and I both get paid every other week, and when we get paid, since our bills are covered for the current month, what we'll do is go to next month's budget and put our total paycheck into the buffer category until we have the $3,500. That way the money is accounted for in our budget and it's out of our way and we don't touch it until the very next month. And this is very easy to do on YNAB because you can flip back and forth between months. So if you're using a paper budget or a different budgeting software, make sure you have the ability to go forward and backwards for your different budgets. On the first of each month, when it's time to budget, we go to our next month's budget and we notice that we have our $3,000 there for our buffer category, and what we'll do is zero that out and use the $3,500 to budget for that month. And it feels really good to be able to just go straight down your budget and know that everything is covered. And if you notice that you have additional money left over, then you can use that money how you choose. Okay, so now that you know how much your expenses are per month and you have a budget with the buffer category, the next thing is to start cutting expenses so that you can use the extra money to start filling up your buffer category in your budget. I know it's not fun to cut expenses, but this is a very easy way to get extra money to send towards your next month's finances. You will need to cancel any subscriptions that you're not using, and you might even find some that you are using but you could do without, such as a gym membership when you could watch free workout videos on YouTube, and getting rid of cable if you use Hulu or Netflix services. If you really want to get frugal, you can get rid of the Hulu and Netflix services as well, but that's completely up to you. The more expenses that you cut, the more money you'll have to send to next month's expenses. The next thing you can do is get a side hustle. So if you've been here for a while, you know that I love side hustles. My husband and I both side hustle every month, and we like to use our money to pay off our debt. But in the beginning, if we didn't have enough money to build our buffer for next month's income, we would have sent all of our side hustle money directly to our buffer category. So there are a couple of rules for side hustles when you're using them for a specific purpose. So the first thing is you want to make sure you find a side hustle that pays regularly and quickly. This could be something like user testing or doing play tests or things like that, because you get your money within 7 days of completing the activity. The next rule is to find a side hustle that you enjoy at least a little bit. You don't want to find a side hustle that you absolutely hate, because the worst thing you can do is to go and work a regular job all day and then come home and do a side hustle that you hate. So you need to make sure that you don't take on things like a tutoring side hustle if you're not good at the subject that you're supposed to be tutoring. So once you find that perfect side hustle for helping you create your buffer, you want to make sure that you send all of that money to the buffer. Don't try to pay off debt with it. Don't try to save money with your side hustle money. Send all of that money to your buffer category until you build it up for your next month's expenses. And the last thing that you can do to get a month ahead on your finances is to use any extra money that you receive throughout the year towards your buffer category. So that means your bonuses from work, you could use a stimulus check, a tax refund, anything like that. And then also, depending on what day you get paid, most people have 2 to 3 months throughout the year where you receive an extra paycheck. So take that extra paycheck and send it directly to your buffer category until you've built it up to the amount of your expenses. So those are a few ways that you can quickly build up your buffer and be able to live on last month's income. It may take you a couple of months or even a whole year, depending on your situation, to build that money up, but once you build it up, it's easy to maintain. You just need to make sure that the money that you're making in the current month, you send it directly to the buffer category for your next month's expenses until you have the amount that you need. Getting a month ahead is one of the best things that you can do for your finances, especially during these uncertain times that we're in right now. It takes the guesswork out of what your budget looks like for the next month, and you'll have some sort of financial security knowing that next month is already covered. So figure out a strategy that works for you to build up your buffer and start living on last month's income and break the paycheck to paycheck cycle. Now I want to hear from you. What is keeping you from getting a month ahead on your finances? Are you going to try any of the tips listed here? Let me know in the comments below. That's all for this video, so be sure to give it a like and click the link on your screen right now for more Well Balanced Wallet content. See you there.